are you? Are you all right? Genuinely, are you okay? So it's episode 69. I know why you're here. It's because you want to listen to the fantastic Jodie Comer, and you will. Trust me, it's a brilliant episode because she's ace. If you just joined us for Jodie's episode, go back. Including now, there is 69 brilliant episodes. So go back, scroll through, see who you like, subscribe. Can you hear my voice? It's going. I think we better get on with it. I'll tell you what happened. I was in London. We had a little flat. Griff got the train. We met up. We set up the mics. And we welcomed Jodie Comer. This is episode 69 of the Two Shot Podcast. Enjoy it, and I'll see you at the end. I was talking to somebody last year, because I always do a little bit. I always want to do a little bit of research, just just the littlest.
Yeah.
Because I want the conversation to sort of be discovered by me as it does for everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said to her, I won't say who it is. And I said, so it's quite interesting because you were born on Christmas Eve. And she goes, no. I went, what? She went, no, it's just somebody dicking about on Wikipedia.
Oh, God.
But what I want you to do is, if I say like 1, 2, 3, just tell me the date of which you were born.
Okay.
Okay.
The date, just the...
Just the number. Just some of the number.
The day?
The day.
Okay.
1, 2, 3,
11.
11. There we go. Perfect. Right, that's good. We're off to a flying
start.
No one's been dicking about
No one cares enough to do that.
I was born on the 11th of March.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
Pisces?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it when I meet people with the same birthday as me.
And that's the only person I've met who's got the same birthday as me is you.
Well, my friend Sasha Parkinson. Do you know Sasha Parkinson?
I know Sasha Parkinson.
She's 11th of March as well.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, I did know that. Fuck, I did know that because I've worked with her years ago.
Yeah, she's the 11th. Just, you're the only people that I've met.
Do you know Jo Hartley?
Yeah.
She's 12th of March.
Oh, my best friend's 12th of March.
Look, it's March. It's a good
All the
month,
best
Jodie.
people.
How are you? How's things?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm been living in London now since June. Nearly ready to go home.
How do you find London? Hard work or?
Do you know what? I enjoy it, but then I do like to leave. It's very busy. It's definitely a different pace to Liverpool. But I feel lucky in the sense that I can come for 6 months, experience it, and then I can like go back to normality, and go back to my mum's. But yeah, it's all right.
I suppose sometimes though, if you're busy working, you don't really get to.
No, well that's the thing.
See loads because you're just here to generate the work and get out.
I'm like, I'm gonna go to this museum. I'm gonna go to this museum, and then by the time I come to the weekend, I'm like, I'm just gonna sit on my own on the sofa. So yeah, I probably actually, I think in a sense, I haven't really made the most of it to make a judgment. Do you know what I mean?
Or at the time, you know.
Yeah.
But it is nice to know. Since I moved out of London, I do love that feeling of coming in and sort of meeting up with people or doing whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
But knowing I can
escape,
bugger off on the train and get home. Back to normality. I do like that. I appreciate, but also I appreciate London in a different way than what I did than when I lived here.
Yeah.
So I really fell out of love with it.
No, but I can imagine that's quite easy. I think it's quite intense. I also think it can be quite lonely. I mean, I do love my own company, but I do get a sense of like, if you haven't got your tribe of people here, it's very easy to just kind of slip under the radar and probably spend too much time on your own.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Tell me about growing up in Liverpool. Whereabouts were you?
Chilwell.
What? Forgive me.
Chilwell is like, have you ever been to Lime Pictures where they film Brookside?
No.
Well, they film Hollyoaks there now. It's like five minutes from there.
Right.
Just as you come off the motorway. But yeah, I've lived there all my life. Still live with my mum and dad. The same house I've always lived in. My primary school is literally at the top of my road.
So you just walk to school in the mornings?
Yeah, walk to school. I loved growing up in Liverpool. I've got, no, particularly my dad's side of the family is really big.
Are they all still there as well?
Yeah, they're not in Chilwell, but they're not too far away. But yeah, I've got a younger brother called Charlie, who's twice as big as me. who I love. But yeah, growing up was always really happy. You know, really close-knit kind of thing.
What does your dad do for a living?
My dad's a massage therapist.
Is he? What, like sports massage therapist?
Yeah. But trying to get him to give me one is...
Busman's holiday.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's like,
Get
you're doing
one
all
at
day in work. I'm not going home to give you one. Which is fair enough. Yeah, so my dad's a massage therapist. And
How did he get into that?
I don't actually know. We used to work at Ford. Is it the Land Rover? I don't know if it's Land Rover or Range Rover. I can't tell the difference. The big car.
Car, I know. Ones that are a pain in front of you when you're driving.
To park. Yeah, so he used to work there when he was younger, and then I don't know how he got into it, but he works at Everton Football Club.
Right, okay.
And he's a massive Evertonian, so we have that kind of similar thing of he is besotted with his job, which is really nice to see. So yeah, I think he's been there for a while now. And my mum works for Mersey Travel, which is like the transport in and around Merseyside.
Do you have a tram system in Liverpool?
No, we were supposed to get them, and then it all kind of fell through. That was a promise that no one kept.
Yeah. So I've got, even though I've been to Liverpool quite a lot, I've always got that image of, oh yeah, there's a tram just like there is in Manchester, just sort of going through, or like in Glasgow.
There was supposed to be, but I didn't think it ended up. It definitely didn't end up.
No, well, not yet anyway. Unless I've been away for 6 months, maybe you've fucking built a big tram system.
Them, yeah.
So happy times growing up, really.
Yeah. Love primary school. Enjoyed secondary school, but then like not so much sixth form and stuff. I kind of lost interest in school at that age. When you say you enjoyed it, is it because you threw yourself into like subjects? Were you quite academic, or was it just that sort of? No, I think I probably had potential to be. I was a big chatter. You know, my school reports are always, you know, she's great, but would be even better if she kept her mouth shut in class. But I think I was really enthusiastic, which goes a long way.
Absolutely.
You know? God loves a trier, Craig.
That's what people have been telling me for years.
But yeah, I don't really ever, remember having really bad memories of school. And my friends who I'm friends with now are the friends that I grew up with in secondary school, and you know, there's about 5 of us that are really close knit, which is really lovely. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think I'd want to go back, but I enjoyed it.
There's nothing you want to change?
I always was like, oh, if I could go back, I'd I'd put my head down a bit more and get better grades, but then I haven't had to, I've never ever had to use my grades for anything.
Well, exactly, and doing what you do.
Yeah, and so I've always been like, oh, just for the discipline, I would like to have been a bit more disciplined maybe. And
do you not think you're disciplined now?
Yeah, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, my brother went to university, went and done his masters, and I've seen the work that he has to put in.
What was he?
As in, just I feel like with university, they tell you what you need to do, but then it's up to you to go away and do it, right?
Yeah.
Which I guess is the same with learning your lines and stuff, but I don't know. I just think there's a different kind of discipline.
Well, I suppose it is, but I know what you're saying, because it's like, well, you go away, you've got lines to do, you've got choices to make. No one's gonna. Yeah. They might mould you in different ways, but you have to go in with those certain choices.
Yeah.
But those disciplines, you couldn't have really learnt that in school, because it was different.
Yeah, that's true. I guess my grades were fine.
Quite middly.
Like, for instance, this is really embarrassing, but for my my drama GCSE, I'd got an A star in my practical and I got a U in my written. That actually happened. I refused to do my written work. Did you?
Yeah, because I said.
Well, I wish I would have actually.
Being an idiot said it. No, it's all right. Acting's not about writing. I refuse to do it. What?
Yeah. Well, in my defence, kind of. I'd had.
In your defence, for you. Yeah,
I'm gonna try. I'd been doing little jobs outside of school, and I was away for they do a practice test, and I was away for that. So that's my excuse. I was away for the practice.
What were you doing away for?
What,
you on holiday?
I was doing an episode of The Rule Today, Craig.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was. It's really serious stuff.
What, so you were acting at school?
Yeah, like, kind of.
So how did you get into that?
Oh my god, so long story. But basically...
We've got plenty of time.
Yeah,
don't
we
worry,
are.
it's fine.
We won't
We'll get the kettle on for another cuppa,
Drag it
it's
out.
fine.
So I'd done like dancing, singing and acting at a Saturday school.
Right.
Down the road from my house was like an hour of each. And we had a thing in Liverpool called the Liverpool Drama Festival, which was you would enter into a group of like 30 people your age and everyone would perform a monologue. And I'd entered into that with my weekend drama school, and I won my group. I came first. So that's when I first kind of got the buzz for like performing in front of other people. It was the first time my dad had seen me act and stuff. And then a couple of months, however long it was, we were doing a talent show in school. And me and my 3 friends were doing a dance from Chicago. I don't know if you're familiar with Chicago.
No, I know the musicals. I've seen it.
Well,
it's all bowler hats and things.
Yeah, we were doing the cell block tango at
Right.
the age of 12, which was probably a little bit
controversial.
inappropriate, like thinking back. But so anyway, was planning on doing the talent show. Midway through rehearsals, I went away on holiday with my family, my mum, dad, and my brother. And obviously, you know, when I was away on holiday, I was spending all my time on MSN on the computer. And the girls had been in touch with me on MSN to say that I couldn't be in the dance anymore because I hadn't been there to rehearse. So I remember, like,
Elbowed.
literally
out.
elbowed
Out.
of the girl band. So, you know, when you're a kid and you're so upset and you're like, that moment where you kind of lose your breath. I remember going up to my mom and just being like so distraught, and she was like, well, why don't you go back and ask your drama teacher if you can do your monologue from the drama festival, you know, go and do your own thing and whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I went home, I told my drama teacher that I wanted to, you know, enter into the competition doing my own thing. She made me audition. She approved, yeah.
So she made you do it.
Yeah, she made me do it in front of her,
okay.
and then she was like, "Okay." And it was from doing the talent show that, like, a couple of months after that, the BBC sent through a request. They were looking for a young girl to play the lead in a BBC4 radio drama, and my drama teacher was like, "I really think you should go in for this," and I was like, "Okay." So she sent me and another girl from my year to this audition. I think it was in the Everyman, and that was my first audition, and I got the role. And then it was doing the radio play, which was like 4 days in Manchester. My mum and dad chaperoned me. I had like the best time of my life. And
how old were you now? Like 14?
I was like 12.
12,
13, yeah.
Right.
And I just loved it so much, and the other actors were like, you know, if you like enjoy this so much, you can do this as like a job, a profession, or whatever you want to call it. And my mum and dad were like, okay, like, if you know, if that's what you want to do, then
they're quite supportive of that.
Yeah, totally. They were just like, listen, if you want to do it, we'll go with you. So an actress kindly introduced me to her Manchester-based agent and a photographer in Crosby to get some headshots taken.
Yeah.
And now I'm here sat with you. So what I feel like is, I'm always like, Mom, imagine if they didn't leave me out the group. What would I be doing?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it all came from that.
Well, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, because doing the radio play kind of made me realise, oh, like, you know, I wasn't one of those kids who, like, came out the womb and was singing, dancing and acting. Like, no. I just enjoyed it, and the thought of doing it as like a career choice, it just never ever entered my head.
Did you realise that it would be possible for you to do it?
I think, well, when I was on the radio play, I was like, oh, this is like, people do this all the time. Even though obviously I watched the telly and stuff, but it just,
but
I never made the connection.
You always go, I remember when I was growing up, when I didn't really see anybody like me on there. And then all of a sudden, when I started to get older, I thought, oh my God, he's from not far from me, and he does that for a living.
Yeah.
I wonder.
It was just the thought that I'd never ever. Also, I was so young. Like, people were like, well, what did you want to be before you were an actress? And I'm like, when I was 12, I didn't think I'd even thought of that.
Yeah. I wanted to think of things of what a 12-year-old girl thinks they want to do for a living. Which,
yeah, do you know, you're not even thinking about work then, or I hope not anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to grow. I don't never want to work. What
exactly. So I had a Manchester-based agent, and I got a couple of roles in some little things, like, you know, little episodes of stuff. But then I think I was, when I got to about 16, I was only getting like one audition every like 3 months or so. And I'd like really realised then that it was what I wanted to do, and I probably should have been doing a lot more than what I was, you know, like actively trying to do more.
Yeah.
And
but it takes its time, doesn't it? I mean, especially you when you're younger, and if you're going for these auditions, you're changing. You know, you're growing up.
Yeah.
You know, things change, and your needs change, and what you want to do changes. So
I always remember like my dad driving me to Leeds and sitting outside the studio with me, like running me lines, and like I remember there was a swear word in one of the lines once, and he just said his head was gone. He was just like, what am I doing? This is the weirdest thing. Yeah, like but they've always you know, any choices I've had to make, like when I left my Manchester agent to join the agent that I'm with now, I was like, Dad, I'm gonna leave David Pearson, and I'm gonna go to independence. And he was like, right, okay. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, you know where the phone is. And I was like, what? What do you mean? And he's like, well, you know, this is your choice. You've decided it, not me or your mum. If this is how you feel, bring them up and tell them. And I mean, I was like 16 then, so that doesn't even 16, 17, so that doesn't sound that young, but it just seemed like a really adult conversation to have.
Yeah. I think it is, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and but I did it, and I was so happy with my choice. But they've always listened, but never
interfered.
They don't intrude. Yeah, they'll listen to what I'm saying, and 9 times out of 10, my dad's like, "You're answering your own question," but you know, I'm all ears.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you've got to ask those questions.
Yeah.
Even just as a soundboard to somebody who's supportive and that you trust.
Yeah.
Even though secretly, like, you know the answer, don't you?
Yeah. And I feel like your gut never really lets you down if you really listen to it. Like,
is that something you're like about trusting your gut?
Yeah,
even
100%.
When you, yeah.
Even sometimes when I think, oh my God, I don't know if this is, you know, if this is right. But also like when I moved to my agent now, I remember when I first went with them, and I'd you know, I had to really learn to find my voice, because if I didn't like respond to the scripts, I'd feel like, but I have to go to this audition, and you know, it's which then I probably did because it was experience and all the rest of it. But I used to feel like I can't not like a character or a script, like. You know, this is kind of an opportunity, and
I have to say yes.
Yeah, I have to do this.
I can't connect with it in any way whatsoever, in my head, or my heart, or my gut. Yeah.
So I think now I'm definitely more like, if I read the script, I'm like, no, I can't connect with it for whatever reason, and I say to my agent, look, if you think I'm being stupid, or if I'm not seeing something that you are, then let me know.
Because again, you're speaking to somebody that you trust.
Exactly. Yeah. But